Hello, audience peoples, and welcome back to another Gwimb Discussion. This one is actually about a week later than I wanted it to be, but assignments and work and yada 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 yada, real life sucks. Right, but this is a little video discussing a little thing that just happened in the latest Horus Heresy novel, the Praetorian of Terra, as you may or may not have heard. And this is discuss the fact that in the latest Horus Heresy book, Praetorian of Dawn, they killed off Alpharius. And they weren't like, oh no, it was a body double, or oh no, it was this. No, they admitted that they killed off the actual Alpharius. Now, this whole thing just baffles me to my core. It just made me go, what? Why would you do that? And I kind of realize now that this was kind of a knee-jerk reaction, if you will, to, well, I suppose two common traits throughout, the heresy revolving these legions that kind of hasn't been addressed until now. And the first one is, well, the whole Alpha Legion thing, how it's just devolved into a meme, the list of canon is just so convoluted that it just doesn't make sense anymore, and everything about it seems, 100% wrong. So I'm guessing it was kind of a knee-jerk reaction on Games Workshop's part to try and address some of these issues, lay down a piece of solid canon. But the thing with that is that nobody asked for it. I didn't ask for it. I don't think any of you really asked for it. I mean, yes, having some continuity of the canon is nice, but killing off Alpharius and them actually saying, no, it's the actual Alpharius, it isn't a body double, it isn't a, anything like that, it's the actual Alpharius, it just seems like a massive overreaction on Games Workshop's part. Well, Black Library's part, I should say. In regards to, all the memes and stuff revolved around the Alpha Legion. It just, I don't know, and as much as people complained about the, Alpha Legion's confused canon, it was funny. It was a meme within itself. It amused us. We loved all the fact that it was, this canon is a lie, this is a lie. You read, Eisenhorn, and it's like, oh shit, maybe Alpharius survived the heresy and was actually, carrying on the fight, or what happened to Omegon? Was Omegon one of the founders of the Grey Knights? There was all these different theories and little things, and people were, there was always, lively and passionate debate on forums about it, and it was fun, and it was entertaining. But now Black Library's just like, nope, this is what happened. You guys are wrong, and it's just, it defies logic, and it defies reasoning, really. I mean, I could, go on about it for a while, but I just, there's nothing really to say. It's just sort of, it's bafflingly confusing. Why would you do that? But yeah, it just, I mean, yes, some continuity expressing what happened would be nice, but you shouldn't do it at the sacrificing the cost of the actual overall, canon or the overall experience of the legions. I mean, you basically sort of killed off all the expectation. You've killed off all of your previous works. Like in Eisenhorn, I am Alpharius. That's now moot. It's all moot. You've basically just killed off a character. And I know last time I complained about how you were trying to exploit plot armor and not kill off Primarchs and important characters, but that wasn't an invitation to go off and kill Alpharius, was it? It was more about not teasing us with plot armor that will never happen. So instead, you just go all the way off in the other direction, and it's just, it's beyond words, really. But yes, as I was saying, this whole event of Praetorian of Terra, the whole book, I think is a knee-jerk response to two sort of things in regards to the heresy canon. One is that all the Alpha Legion memes and the lack of clear continuity, and two, in my opinion, the fact that Rogel Dawn is a bitch. Let's be honest, he's a little bitch. I'm afraid it's true, he is. He does absolutely nothing during the heresy, except for the stand on Terra, and people were complaining about it. I've seen it on a few forums here and there. Not that I go to many forums anymore. They kind of got a bit cancerous for me to stay on them for very long, but yeah, Dawn does absolutely bugger all during the heresy. He just sort of sits around on Terra, whining and moping and being emo to the point that even Corax would go, dude, cheer the hell up. I'm serious. If you read A Dark Prince and a Lightning Tower, the first 20 pages is Dawn whining. I'm serious. Rogel Dawn, the Praetorian of Terra, the Stone Man, you know, the emotionless fortress-building, conquering guardian of Terra, whining about how the fact he has to break apart the Imperial Palace and remake it as a fortress. He whinges. He's like, oh, the Eternity Gate was supposed to be more aesthetically beautiful than this gate, and I have to break it up and turn it into a gun turret. And he whines and whines and whines and whines, and yeah, and everyone started taking the piss out of him. Everyone started laughing on forums and things at him. And in a response, they're like, oh shit, he's got to do something. We've got to make him cool. We've got to make him, remind him that he's the Praetorian of Terra. So, to do that, they have Rogel Dawn kill Alpharius. Which, I mean, being the first loyalist Primarch to get a confirmed traitor kill is pretty manly. I mean, I suppose, you can't really deny it on that front. But the whole thing behind it was stupid and unnecessary anyway. It's just a knee-jerk response. I mean, why? Also, incidentally, Rogel Dawn gets the first kill of a traitor Primarch. So, fuck Ferrus Manus or Sanguinius or Guilliman, who can actually fight Primarchs on equal front. You're going to go to Dawn, who, if you read his Forge World rules, is not the best fighting Primarch, let's be honest. It's just, also, yeah, you're trying to make Dawn cool, which, he is kind of cool if you'd actually portray them as being cool instead of portraying him as being an emo tard. But you're gonna have to do that at the expense of Alpharius, at the expense of all of that canon and memes and expectations and, fan theories and stuff. You just wipe it out. Why? I know all of these Gwimb discussions has turned into me ragging on you, Black Library and Games Workshop and Forge World, but the reason I do it is because I actually have really high hopes and expectations for you. You actually can write freaking awesomely cool stories and cool narrative, and you make awesome, awesome fictional universes. It's just, you seem to be, as of late, determined to ruin it. You seem to be determinedly just drinking your own bleach. I just don't understand. But yeah, back on the Alpharius thing. So they kill off Alpharius, and then they say Omegon, psychically sensing his twin brother's death, which incidentally is another stupid thing. I don't really think the Primarchs have the ability to psychically sense each other. I don't really think Corax knew the exact time and moment their Ferrus was killed, but whatever. He adopts his place. So Alpharius... So really what they're saying is, during the heresy, the actual Alpharius is killed by Dawn in a failed invasion of the Sol system, and as a result, Omegon takes his place and adopts and pretends to be Alpharius, adopting his twin brother's identity. And then, what are all the memes about? Just him now? Does that mean he might become one of the founders of the Grey Knights, or does that mean he will be killed by Guilliman in one-on-one combat? Is that what that means now? Are you saying this is what's going to happen? It's just confusing. I don't know, it's just 100% confusing. And trying to bulk up Dawn, I mean, yeah, I suppose that's alright. I mean, Dawn does actually, I think if there's any Primarch that needs a bit of boosting up, Dawn is certainly the one. Because everyone complains on how much of an emo Corax is. but he's nothing compared to Dawn if you actually read the Heresy series. He whines and he mopes and he complains about having to break apart the Imperial Palace and turn it into a fortress. He complains that Sigismund didn't, get himself killed at the cost of, for obeying orders. He orders the Retribution fleet's immediate return to Terra, right? And while the Retribution fleet is winning against the Iron Warriors. If I was Alexis Pollux in that situation, I would tell my Gene Father to go fuck himself and keep fighting. But no, they lose the entire Retribution fleet because Dawn ordered them to retreat. Dawn should be awesome, and they've written him as not. But this just seems like trying to stem the tide in one book, and it comes off as wrong. Let's be honest. And also, Dawn doesn't even get a clean kill on Alpharius. He's actually losing to Alpharius, which in all the stats is the weakest Primarch in the Forge World stat line. Well, besides Lorgar pre-upgrades. But Lorgar Transfixed is bullshit, so we don't count him. Right? Alpharius is like one of the weakest combat Primarchs. And yet Dawn is, being defeated by him. He's failing to be able to beat him. He's struggling to fight him. And then one of his legionaries comes in, and deflects a blow meant for Dawn, giving Dawn the time to decapitate Alpharius with his chainsword. Why would a Primarch need saving by a legionary? And why would someone who supposedly is awesome as Rogel Dawn need saving by a random Huskar, like one of his legionaries? I'm sorry, what? And that's not just a trait unique to Dawn. In fucking Savage Weapons, Lionel Johnson is saved by one of his honor guard, Corswain, when he's fighting Conrad Kurz, which A, we know is irrelevant because of the plot armor, and B, when do Primarchs need to be saved by standard legionaries? Do you know what a Primarch is to a Space Marine, what a Space Marine is a normal human? A Primarch shouldn't need babysitting. But, I suppose you just ignore your own fluff so often that you may as well make a trait out of it. I don't know. Maybe I just idealize the old fluff and, the way Games Workshop and Black Library and stuff used to be, where they actually wrote cohesive narratives with interesting characters, cool storylines, awesome action scenes, and they actually had, medium cost models which had good value for your money. Maybe I'm just idealizing that too much, and I should just accept that, it's becoming a load of bubbling toss and they're just killing off their own canon because they're retarded. But I still have hope, and I still want these guys to actually, to get it down right. It's just, yeah. I don't know. I'm just flabbergasted by this whole thing, so I don't really know what else there is to say, really. Let me know in the comments below what you think the story is. Do you think they were right to just kill off Alpharius like that? Do you think Rogel Dawn is a bitch and needed to be redeemed? Let me know. I'd be genuinely interested to see what you guys all think. So yes, until then, laddos and ladettes, thank you very much for watching. I will catch you all again another time, I guess.